Hey everyone, today is Monday, March 5th, and I have a few bits of interesting news. We're going to start this out with Assassin's Creed 3 has been announced today. They have an announcement trailer, blah blah blah. I'll put a link down below, but one of the primary things about this I want to point out is it's about the American Revolution, or at least it takes place during the American Revolution. Uh, on a scale of awesomeness, I think that rates like a 50,000 out of 10. The reason being is the first game took place during the Crusades, which everybody around the world tends to know something about. Crusades happened. Um, the second game took place during the Italian Renaissance and late 1400s, early 1500s, and everybody kind of knows about that, or at least in the States they do. Then, now we have another global release game talking about the events of the American Revolution. This is fantastic. I bet that there are going to be people in countries overseas who are like, I didn't know this happened. So there you go. Awesome. Spreading the good word. Unfortunately, it's going to be biased from this whole Templar versus Assassin route, and George Washington was a Freemason, which have frequently been connected with the Templars because technically they were descended from them or part of them or what have you. So I am not looking forward to George Washington and so forth being portrayed as bad guys. But then again, they could be the good versions or the half and half Assassin Templars. You know, who knows? I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to put a link to the launch trailer down below in the description. Other news, Star Wars The Old Republic today is the developers are having a guild summit in Austin, Texas, I think. And I caught the intro to it on their website. They were doing a live feed. It's going to resume in about at 2 p.m. Central Time, so that's in about 24 minutes from now, from the time I'm filming this. Some of the big things they're talking about there are linked into Game Update 1.2. We're going to see the release of guild banks, a new Warzone, a new operation, a new Flashpoint to, I think, wrap up the Raccool thing from last time. There's going to be new color crystals. Color crystals are going to be usable regardless of your alignment, light side, dark side score. Then, I mean, there's just a whole bunch of stuff. They're going to use the legacy system. You can actually set up a family tree, and you could play a smuggler chiss or what have you. So that's really cool stuff there. Also, along the lines of EA BioWare, Mass Effect 3 launches tonight at midnight. I logged into Origin just to see if there were any updates or information, and it went ahead and installed, downloaded, what have you, a digital copy of the art book, a digital lithograph print, and a digital copy of a Mass Effect comic about Area T'Loak and Cerberus and Omega and blah blah blah. And it also gave me the soundtrack. So if you're in North America, today is the day you can log into Origin and get your digital art book and so forth, and your copy of the soundtrack. I don't know about other places, but cool. The soundtrack sounds amazing. The art is fantastic. I wish I could. They gave it to me in PDF format, and I don't know enough about PDFs to pull pictures out of them or anything. So I kind of wish I could have taken the Normandy lithograph and made it into a wallpaper, but we'll see what happens later. See if somebody else sets that up. Along the same lines of the Mass Effect 3 information, I had two more things to talk about, and they've just gone. Oh, I wrote a blog post today about, again, how excited I am about Mass Effect showing up in just a short while from now. And in a way, I kind of linked it to Knight Rider. My favorite part of what I wrote today was Michael on the Normandy, Shepard in kit. So there's always a link to my blog down below, and I try to update it every Monday. And lastly, last yesterday someone asked a question in the comments. I'd like to hear your thoughts on Star Wars The Old Republic and Mass Effect 3, namely how the two are really similar in terms of gameplay and the way that story is presented. The preset class stories and their linear progression really put me off of Star Wars The Old Republic. After all, it's an MMO. We're meant to make our own stories, aren't we? Do you think that TOR went a little too far down the SP RPG road rather than truly catering to the MMO crowd? Looking forward to hearing your thoughts. I responded in a comment. I said, I'll think about it. Honestly, though, I think BioWare did okay with the marketing on Star Wars The Old Republic, the whole different MMO thing. By that, I mean they were marketing more like, we have more story than all the other MMOs put together, which is kind of true. That said, BioWare games have been remarkably similar since Baldur's Gate 1998 with regards to questing and conversation structures. I just consider that similarity is the price of doing business with BioWare. Star Wars Galaxies was marketed as creating your own story in the Star Wars universe. Now's the start of your tale. Do your adventures. Be an adventurer in Star Wars. Star Wars The Old Republic, not so much. They really pushed the whole, we made a story for every class so you have motivation the entire way through, supposedly. I personally did not expect anything greater than a Mass Effect storyline with the with TOR. I didn't expect anything more than a Mass Effect storyline, but that's mostly because Mass Effect storylines are ridiculously in-depth. I mean, if you go all the way back to Baldur's Gate, which I think was one of the earliest BioWare products, they took an existing world, the Forgotten Realms, which had already been really fleshed out by then over about 20 years of work, and they inputted enough about the Sword Coast in their own way so that, I mean, it's there. It's part of canon now, technically. And they're just really good at doing that single-player canon experience. Now, admittedly, adapting a single-player game into an MMO, which is kind of what they did. They took Star Wars The Old Republic, Knights of the Old Republic, Knights of the Old Republic 2, and they made it into an MMO. Only it's 8 single-player games in one with the ability to play it with your friends. So I agree that they did push the single-player RPG aspect of this game pretty heavily. The fact of the matter is that what most people really wanted from Knights of the Old Republic was to be able to play with their friends. And now they can do that, in a way. It's not exactly the same. It's definitely tailored more towards an online gaming setting, but I think they've done a supremely good job at it. And so I hope that answers your question. And where's the comments? So thank you to Nastranai. So anyways, that's it for today. I have a lot of laundry to fold and take care of. So until next time.